What's going on, basketball fans? Hey, it's another episode of Chuckin Buckets, man. We back here. It's the 24-25 season, man. I know y'all hadn't seen us since last season, man. We're missing our guy, Stat Guy, but I'm going to fill in the best I can. I'm Coach I, man, but we got KB, man, the original Chuckin Bucket host. What's going on, KB?
Man, nothing much, man. Pretty good, man. What about you, man?
Hey, man, we out here, we're trying to see what the snow gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We're here in the upstate, man, and the snow might take over. So we have to keep that in mind. LSU getting snow. This is a preview for South Carolina LSU, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it, man. Let's roll that intro. Chuckin Buckets. You know how we get down, man. Just to let you know, today's episode brought to you by Swipe Fast. That's Swipe with a Y. Swipe Fast. If you're looking for a way to keep majority of that hard-earned profit, you know what I'm saying, and still continue to grow your business, check out Swipe Fast. It's a merchant services company that's got over 26 years of combined experience helping businesses of all sizes, man, with debit card, credit card processing, things of that ways, in the most efficient and cost-saving ways, man. So whether you're a restaurant, retail store, e-commerce, or you process business-to-business payments, Swipe Fast has a solution to fit all the needs, man. You can visit them at swipefast.com. That's swipe with a Y, fast.com. Or you can just call them at 1-800-597-0713. No strings attached, and get you a cost analysis. Don't forget ask about that revolutionary price and cash discount too, man. It's saved business owners up to 99% of the current processing fees. Let them know Chuckin Bucket sent you, man. Now back to the regular scheduled program. All right, man. We're here to talk about South Carolina ladies taking on the LSU Tigers on Thursday, primetime, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Now, with that said, with the weather, man, we don't know if it's going to, still be holding up on Thursday because it's snowing in both states, South Carolina and Louisiana. But we're going to preview nonetheless, man. If you first time here, it's Chuckin Buckets, man, where we talk all things South Carolina women's basketball. That's right, man. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this thing, man. Listen, KB, these two teams, no strangers to the top 10. You know what I'm saying? This is like every year, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely becoming a rival, man. Ever since the last, going back maybe 3 years. Obviously, the Angel Reese period, and even maybe time before there, man. But you got two really legendary coaches kind of going at it. I don't think it matters, like, who might be on the team from a player perspective, but man, you got two coaches in the game that's got championships under their belt. Coach the best of the best, and like you just gotta like the. If you're a sports fan, if you're a basketball fan, obviously women's basketball fan, you got to love this type of game or this type of environment or what this does to kind of move the needle for the game as well.
Right, man. This is almost like that old school Gino Auriemma, Pat Summit type deal. You know what I'm saying? With Staley and Mulkey on the sidelines. It don't really matter who in the jerseys, because I think both of those coaches gonna have those girls right when it comes to the hardwood. You know what I'm saying? We're going to preview some stats for both teams, man. Then we're going to talk about what it takes for South Carolina to win this game, what it takes for LSU to win this game, and then I guess we'll jump into some predictions, man. I mean, we'll see how that go. So let's talk about a little stats, man. Thanks to our stat guy. Like I say, I'm filling in for him. Stat guy may be playing a little bit more off the camera role, but he's still there getting us our stats, man. So, hey, man, head to head, South Carolina has won the last 17 matchups. Did you know that, KB?
I did not know that. Like, I knew it was I knew it was a few, but man, the last 17, and that man, that number is probably deceiving though. You know what I'm saying? Obviously it's 17 wins. Okay, you gotta chop them up for wins, but these have been some hell of games though. You know what I'm saying? Like some close games. These ain't really just dominating type games. These 17 games, like you've seen some classics, man.
Right, especially since Mulkey been at LSU, you know what I'm saying? It's been like single digit games, you know what I'm saying? With South Carolina, of course, coming out on top. But yeah, I was kind of taken back by that stat when I seen it as well, man. They're gonna be playing at South Carolina at Colonial Life Arena, sold out 18,000. Listen, man, the ladies of Colonial Life, man, they pack the house more than the guys do. Every game is a sellout for the ladies, man. And South Carolina has a streak going on down there, man, 67 straight. So that's going to have to come into take into effect when we thinking about our predictions too. But just in this season alone, man, LSU is 20-0. God, they ain't lost a game, man. You know what I'm saying? 2-0 against top 25 teams, man. This will be their first top 10 game, though. South Carolina 18-1, 7-1 against top 25 teams. So they're 4-1 against top 10 teams. So I guess from those statistics, KB, I would say South Carolina's more battle tested, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt about that. South Carolina, I mean, they got some changes coming into this year too as well. So I expected that, some of the games to be a little bit closer than they were in the past because they don't have the dominant big in South Carolina like they used to in the past. But give credit to LSU, man. The record is the record. I know they had a tough game maybe 2 weeks ago against Tennessee that came down to the last shot. And I think that's been maybe their closest game that they've kind of been tested, which Tennessee's a strong team in the SEC. So I
Right.
expect them to be maybe top three, top four when it's all said and done in the SEC. But yeah, this going to be the real test of test for LSU, but also I think South Carolina as well.
Right. And without going into real detail, the points per games, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and turnovers are literally within 5 points of each other on every stat. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter. So they're pretty similar when it comes to those things like that. So on paper, this looked like an evenly matched game. You know what I'm saying? You got Flau'jae Johnson for LSU going against Raven Johnson for South Carolina. You got Anisha Morrow at LSU against Bree Hall for South Carolina. And then, of course, this is where South Carolina hurts you. And this is where we'll get into how we think South Carolina, might win this game. This is one of my keys, at least. And this is what I was telling somebody else about South Carolina basketball, man. They just throw the bigs at you one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. You know what I'm saying? You got Chloe Kitts, Joyce Edwards, Sanaa Fagan. It's like, just coming at you, KB. It just don't stop. And I think that's how South Carolina wins. Now, I know LSU going to have some good posts, but I think if LSU kind of runs like a 4-guard set, you know what I'm saying? So I think with South Carolina, and I know Dawn Staley is a big proponent of this, you know what I'm saying? Get that ball into them post girls, you know what I'm saying? Except for when Fuali going on her sport.
Right. No, I can't argue with that part, man. I think that's one of the keys to the game is getting into the bigs and also with those bigs kind of controlling the boards. I think they're gonna have a test with a Anissa Morrow on the boards. I think she averaging like a double, like something crazy, like it was like 13 and 14 or something like that on the boards as a guard. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of
Right.
a big guard. This is not even a post player putting in some work. So she's definitely made a jump from last year to this year. So I think definitely controlling the boards is key. But I think the other key thing, man, is South Carolina's bench. One thing I have seen, I don't think LSU has that bench that South Carolina has, which a lot of teams don't. Don't get me wrong, a lot of teams don't have
Right.
that's pretty much got starters on the bench that's coming in on that second level. Coming on that second wave. Because once you take that first punch, you got to take the second punch, the third punch, the fourth quarter punch. When it comes to South Carolina, that's really when they win the ball games at right there. So we're gonna see some tests on the LSU side from the bench perspective. I do think Raven takes on that defensive challenge with Flau'jae, hopefully, and just put the clamps there, and then hopefully those points go down. But yeah, we're gonna see, man. I think it's gonna come down to coaching too, man. I think it's coming down to coaching. Like she adjustments on both sides, pretty much.
Right, and I don't know if one coach will outcoach the other, but just like you said, adjustments. It could be a one key adjustment if one team goes on a run and another team makes a small adjustment to stop the momentum and then turn the momentum in their favor. It could be something as simple as that. But I think we kind of agree, man, with the post players and the depth the SC has. I think that's how they use to their advantage to try to get the dub. Now on the other side, Mulkey and the Tigers. How do you think LSU wins this game?
they they can't have any errors. Can't have any errors. They got to have pretty much a perfect game. And got to win the turnover battle. I think they got to win.
Ooh,
Whoever wins the turnover
key.
battle, I think wins this game. I think those three big scores that they have with Anissa Morrow, Flau'jae, and the other guard, I can't think of her name right now, but I think they're averaging double digits. Like they gotta have, I think they gotta have 20 apiece. I think it's going to be a
Mm,
high scoring game. I don't think it's definitely necessarily going to be as defensive as we probably think it's going to be. Because I think LSU got to get shots up. If I'm Coach Mulkey, I like we just got to get shots at the basket. Knowing that the firepower that SC has coming into that game, and we can't afford not to have shots at the basket. You know what I'm saying? Playing at home, you know what I'm saying? Playing on the road was on the road for them. Like we got to get shots at the basket, give ourselves the opportunity to win.
right. I definitely agree with that, man. With LSU, I think turnovers is definitely a key. Being on the road, you definitely don't want to turn it over and get that crowd involved. You want to try to take that crowd out of the game early, man. And that's one of my keys is LSU can't start slow. You know what I'm saying? They can't let South Carolina go on a run early, get that crowd hype, and kind of get them thrown off their game. And what I alluded to earlier, man, and you talked about it with those guards rebounding, they run, like I say, a 4 guard set. So I think they try to use that to their advantage, pull the bigs away from the basket, you know what I'm saying, on offense, and then let Anissa Morrow, try to get in there and get those rebounds like she does. But use that. I mean, South Carolina bigs are agile and athletic, so it's not the same as playing traditional bigs, you know what I'm saying? Like Joyce Edwards can move, Chloe Kitts can move. But to be honest, if it's me, you know what I'm saying, if they're ever on the floor at the same time, then I am gonna attack Chloe Kitts. If one she is always around the basket for rebounds. I don't know how she does it, but if we were ranking them by athletic ability, she would probably be the least athletic. Not that she's not athletic, she is, but compared to
Right.
the other bigs, you know what I'm saying? So I would try to attack her if I was LSU. So turnovers, limiting turnovers, starting fast, and kind of using that 4 guard set to your advantage. Now, this is a question, KB. When they had Angel Reese, they wasn't deep. You know what I'm saying? At LSU, they
It wasn't.
still ain't. I mean, now they're a little bit deeper, not one or two players, but still not like South Carolina. Like, why you think that is for Kim Mulkey? Why she can't? Because she's a great coach. So, is it just
Oh,
her style, kind of like old buddy, my man named Thibodeau in the NBA, just don't like to play with a lot of people?
I think so. I think some coaches like that, man. And even our boy, like Coach K, man. I think he was like that too, man. Like Duke 6, 7, 8 deep. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, but tournament time, okay, 7. We might have to go 8 if
Maybe
somebody's in foul trouble. And I think a lot
right,
of coaches kind of roll like that unless you get lucky. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say Don got lucky, but man, she been
blessed.
blessed to keep that in-home talent in South Carolina and those players buying into a system. And it's hard to find a lot of players that'll buy into a system and be like, okay, I'm okay coming off the bench, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
okay, maybe not playing this first year, and I might start the second year or maybe even the third year. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the advantage Dawn has over a lot of coaches. She does get those players to buy into a system. And you just don't see it at other programs because we're in a day and age where players want to play right now. If not, I'm
And they
jumping in
right,
I'm,
because they
I'm
can freely leave. You know what I'm saying? No
exactly.
restrictions or and that. And the other school might pay them a lot of money. So testament to Dawn for keeping those girls like that. Because think about Joyce Edwards. She could go somewhere. She could have went somewhere out of high school and started right away.
Yeah, yeah. She could have been just
Same
like
same
Sarah.
with Fuwali.
Right.
Same with Fuwali. Fuwali's still coming off the bench and she in the second year, and she could be arguably, the second best player in the nation behind Juju. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could argue that, but I mean, something Dawn selling down there in Columbia, and they find it lock,
Yeah,
stock, and barrel. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's
So
just the culture, man. They got a great culture down there. I need to definitely give her that she built over the years. And hey, let's speak to that 17 and 0 or that 17 straight. That's what it speak to.
that's what it speak to. You know what I'm saying? 67 straight at the house. You know what I'm saying? That's that culture. You know what I mean? So hey, we here talking SC against LSU. Lady Gamecocks basketball, man. Listen, that's what Chuckin Buckets do, man, on the Fat Ass Sports Network. Y'all make sure y'all hitting that like and subscribe button for us, man. Bring some more South Carolina fans. And if you're not a South Carolina fan, hit the like and subscribe so you can come in here and disagree with us. We on to the predictions now, KB. What you got on it, man?
Man, definitely South Carolina, man. I do think I know a lot of people may think it's a defensive game. I think we see a lot of points in this game, even at home. I think we come out seeing South Carolina want to make a statement with this particular game too, and Don not necessarily letting off the gas. So I think I want to say I see 80s, man, high 80s, but I do think maybe 10 point game when it's all said and done. By the time we get some fouls in there and things like that, but I don't think we see a blowout those first three quarters or 3.5 quarters going forward. But I
Mm.
think South Carolina like 89, 79.
Okay, I don't disagree with that, man. And I think if LSU come to play like I know they normally do, you might even see LSU with like a 1 or 2 point lead at halftime. You know what I'm saying? But then because I think they can go toe to toe for a half, I think the depth comes into play in that second half. And like you said, South Carolina starts to pull away. The depth is an issue, and then fouls. 1-and-1 bonus here and there at the end, and we end up with like a 10 point game. I think it's gonna be a high scoring too, because I definitely don't think this game gonna be like in the 50s or nothing like that. I think this is like you said, like somewhere 65 at the lowest. You know what I'm saying? I think that's if both teams are off. Because it's
Right,
it's
right.
just too
Just
much talent. It's just too much talent in the game. You know what I'm saying? I think Floja gonna bring her A game. I don't think. I think even if Anissa ain't hitting, she can go rebound, get some putbacks. In South Carolina, we don't know who gonna have a day for South Carolina because they got so much talent. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
not that South Carolina can't get beat because we saw UCLA did it, earlier this year. So. But yeah, I got South Carolina winning by at least 8 minimum. But I think more so double digits. So I think we on the same page with that. So, hey
Yeah.
man, South Carolina LSU, if the weather permits, prime time, 8 o'clock Thursday on ESPN. But if weather doesn't permit, I don't know how they're gonna do it. Reschedule it, for later this week or sometime other than that. But I think our prediction holds true regardless of when they play this game. And I don't think they're gonna not play this game because it's too big. It's too much of a moneymaker. You know what I'm saying, KB? It's
Right.
too much of a moneymaker. You know what I mean? If this was Gamecocks and Georgia girls, then they might just say, "Hey, man, we good."
Right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. Man, what you think
uh,
about kind of almost separate topic, but Don's extension, man. Well
listen,
deserved, Don's contract extension?
listen, man. I think Dawn deserves everything they giving her. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell her they ain't enough. Like you gotta. She's done wonders at South Carolina, man. Again, she's entering that Pat Summit, Gino Auriemma territory, you know what I'm saying? Especially if she can do it again this year. You know what I'm saying? You winning back-to-back titles here and there, you getting number 1 draft picks, things like that, and then you just keeping it going. So, man, shout out to Dawn and everything she's doing down there, man. She seems, I don't know her, but she seems like the coolest coach in basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely seemed like, man. I even seen her pumping that Jello the other day, so she definitely got a cool hat on, man. But I
Right.
agree with you, man. Definitely deserve everything she got that she receiving, monetary wise, blessing wise, whatever that looks like, man. I think she's just straight up genuine person, and good things happen to good people. That's what it comes down to.
Right, right. She said when she had what's the my name Plies in the building. She said she applying pressure to people, man. So hey man, listen, man, it's been Chuckin Buckets, the preview South Carolina Lady Gamecocks taking on the Lady Tigers of LSU, man. I'm Coach Child, that's for man KB. Y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. Hit that like and subscribe. We out of here.
Peace.